Hey, Steve.
Hi, Greg.
How are you?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's good. It's been a good day.
You back in town?
I'm back in Sacramento. I'm back in Northern California.
Oh, welcome
Yeah.
back.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, big. It was nice to be back. I've been gone a couple weeks. I don't like to. I mean, no one likes to travel in this crazy new world. It's
No,
nuts.
it was bad enough before.
Fuck. You know what's funny is that all my Facebook memories, every single one is a Vegas trip from different eras.
Uh,
And it's pretty amazing to think about that life, that world. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's nuts. All right. Well, welcome to Bird Brag, everyone. It's season 2. We're talking about summer and the golden hour of summer and a little bird and birdies with some golf as well. So, man, I'm enjoying this season.
Yeah, been going good so far.
Yeah.
I was a little skeptical, but
Yeah, it was
I really
good.
like the format.
Anything exciting happening during your day today?
One thing actually pretty exciting happened.
Well, I mean, lay it on me.
Got a little delivery from Amazon today,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
I'm not
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna say anything specific, but your birthday's coming up.
Whoa, yeah. No, it's true. I do have a birthday coming up.
I don't know. I don't know what
It
came.
might be for me. Is it where you're going with that?
Could be.
Whoa, man. Just making me blush over the podcast.
So what are you drinking today, Greg?
Whoa, you beat me to it. I mean, role reversal here. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me.
Nice.
Went with the Montucky Cold Snack, but I went one step further.
Uh-oh. Nice. It came. I love it. So you guys can't see, but Greg just took off his hoodie and he's got his Montucky t-shirt.
So I'm drinking my Montucky Cold Snack.
16 ounce.
The biggin.
Nice.
So what's interesting, which I love. Okay. So it says Montucky Cold Snack on the can, but my t-shirt says Montucky Cold Snacks with an S.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Huh. That's weird. You think that'd be a standard logo thing?
You know what? I don't know if I've seen that before. I don't know if I'm in marketing in my real job, my real day job, until this thing takes off, until we start getting paid for this guy. But I don't know if I've seen that very often, where they've replaced or changed the logo, made it the plural when they're talking. And my guess is that it gives you the option, like that's the Montucky Cold Snack. The Montucky Cold Snacks is the array of items that they have, products that they have. But all right, what are you drinking today, Steve?
Well, Greg, I am also drinking Montucky Cold Snacks.
Right. So we made it.
Got the 12 ounce.
You got the. It's okay. Don't say only.
But
check this out. Don't say
check
only.
This out.
You got the 20. You got the 20. Dude, maybe we do an episode in foam domes sometime. I mean, that would be stellar if we could pull that off. So, all right, well, let's crack into the. You might have. Okay, ready? Yeah.
I didn't realize we were going to go synchronized.
I didn't think I waited for you to go first so that people could have the pleasure of hearing both of our cold snacks.
Yeah.
The plural. Cheers.
Cheers, Greg.
The Montucky people. Did the Montucky people ever reach out to us after last episode?
We haven't heard from them yet. I mean, I'm going to give them a little bit to listen to that episode. It's only been up for a couple days now, but.
Okay. So it wasn't the plan when we originally concocted this cockamamie thing. I'm okay with cold. We go cold snacks until otherwise.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Make it the unofficial official.
Yeah.
Even if they don't get back to us.
The official unofficial beer.
Right. I always get that backwards.
I do too. I do too. It didn't sound like when you said it, but I mean, we love the Montucky. It fits. Yeah. It fits with kind of everything. The season. We're gonna finish out the season on Montucky, and then we'll reassess for season 3.
Oh yeah. That's a great idea.
Thanks, buddy. You know what? I'm an idea guy. That's my job.
You are.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in the fall.
So I had the idea for the season. You like that? We went right with that. And now we have the seasonal beer that we have right now. And we're not going to say we're going to do a beer each season, but a seasonal drink. Our seasonal drink for summer 2020 through the zombie apocalypse is Montucky Cold Snack.
Tucky season. I love it.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm thrilled. I'm happy. Man, it tastes good. My Montucky tastes delicious, as always, I guess. I guess it never doesn't taste delicious. So what are we talking about today, Steve?
Well, I hope you got a lot to talk about in the ant stuff, because surprisingly, because this is a pretty common bird that we're going to be talking about today, but
back to birds. We're back to birds, people. So good news.
Back to birds. And I had no idea before I started researching it, but it's apparently not very well studied. So I know a lot of times, like me and other people just getting into the scientific field think, oh, everything's already been done and studied. And, unless you're going to like some deep ocean or some Antarctic stuff or something like that. But here's a bird that's pretty common in the western part of North America. And there's not really that many studies on it. And that bird is another sparrow. It's the golden crowned sparrow.
Okay. Interesting. So I can't wait to hear why you think that they're not very studied. So the first question I always ask when we get into this is describe this guy, like paint the picture for our listeners.
So it's a pretty decent sized sparrow, probably on the larger side for most sparrows. It's about 15, 18 centimeters big, 6 or 7 inches, 30 grams, which is about an ounce.
And so how many, well, it's pretty easy to do, but I'm going to ask you anyways, how many Montuckies does it take to, or how many golden crown sparrows does it take to make a Montucky?
We're going to need a full 12er to make one 12-ounce Montucky.
One 12-ounce Montucky, 12 of these guys. Okay. So one ounce each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, manageable size.
Yep.
So they're monomorphic. So the females and males have the same plumage. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry too much about, learning both plumages to identify this bird. Although you do have to learn the juvenile plumage. Sometimes they're kind of hard to tell before they get their full adult plumage. Mm-hmm. But we'll just talk about the adults. The adults are pretty cool looking. I mean, they're a fairly long-tailed, plump sparrow. That's just kind of their general appearance. Their breast it's not really streaked or anything. It's just kind of grays and browns blended rather than streaked. On the back, they have some really fine black and brown modeling, I guess I'd call it. But they're, what really steals the show for these guys and where they got their name is their head markings and their face. So about midway through the eye, all the way from the bill to the back of their head, from there up almost to the top of their head is just jet black, just solid jet black. And then right down the middle, top of their head is a really bright yellow, sometimes orangey, but a really nice golden crown, which is obviously where they got their name.
So I imagine when you said crown, a crown goes around the head. That's a mohawk. We have a golden mohawked sparrow.
Yeah. That is more accurate. And unfortunately, most of these birds were named by somebody who didn't really understand what a crown was, I guess.
Right.
Either that or they're just using the generic crown for the head, like.
You know what I want to tell that person, right? Wick up.
Wick up.
Wick up, dummy.
They probably named the flicker too,
Yeah. Wick up, dummy. That's a mohawk, not a crown.
So that's pretty much what they look like in a nutshell. And if you have an adult bird, it's pretty easy to tell. The closest thing, they're fairly closely related to another crown sparrow, the white crown sparrow. Mm-hmm. But that has like a few different black and white stripes alternating up. And every now and then they do hybridize, and you'll get one that kind of has intermediate markings, but.
So let me ask you this: does it start to dilute and create new things, or is it one and done, and there's not enough of them to make that much of an impact where there's going to be a bunch of these hybridized birds running around?
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's typically a one and done type thing. That's not really the main driver for, making new species and speciation. Usually that happens when, portions of a population either get isolated or separated from a major population, and then they start taking off in a little bit different direction.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's typically not the result of hybridization.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So we know what these guys look like now. Where do we find these guys?
So interesting. They're, living here, and I don't travel as much as I'd like to and do a lot of destination birding or anything like that. But, they're a common winter bird here in California. And so I just kind of assume that they're pretty common for the most part in North America, but they're actually pretty restricted to kind of the extreme western portion of North America. So they breed in Canada and up into Alaska. So Alaska, Yukon, the extreme southwestern part of the Northwest Territories, British Columbia, and Alberta. So kind of the west coast of Canada and Alaska. And then they winter down from just into Canada all the way down to kind of northern part of Baja California. So, and they don't go very far inland. They're kind of restricted, not completely, but to the most part, west of like the Sierra Cascade range, over to the Pacific coast. So they really do have a fairly limited distribution in North America, although it's a good chunk of the western part, but it's restricted to the west. You do find vagrants every now and then on the East Coast. They've been found in Siberia and Japan. I don't know if they get blown over there during migration or how that quite works. Obviously Siberia is not too far from Alaska anyway, but
go right over the top, right over Sarah Palin's house and
yeah,
head right to.
Yeah. I mean, she can see it from her house.
I mean, if she can see it from her house, then God knows the sparrows could just hunker right over there.
Yeah, exactly. And they like, so in their breeding range, they like kind of shrubby habitat, and they're typically right at or above timberline. So these real kind of high mountain areas where there's a lot of willows and other shrubby brush habitat, and they're usually pretty near water. That's where they breed. And then when they winter down here, in the lower 48, they're also typically tied to shrubby habitat, although they'll kind of forage on field edges and things like that. But they're typically not too far from shrubs, and that's where they kind of make their escape from predators and things like that. A lot of times, if you're trying to look for these birds in the winter, you'll see them out feeding on the ground in front of you, and as you get close, they kind of sneak into the shrubs, so they're tougher to see. But sometimes if you wait long enough, they'll come back out and start feeding. But they do like to escape in the shrubs, and really they stay fairly low. For the most part, this isn't a bird that for most of their life is going to be up in the trees and you're looking up at. They're typically on the ground or pretty low. Although there is evidence that when they migrate, they're pretty high altitude migrants.
Well, and I was about to ask you about nesting, and so they're not going to, because I just assumed that they would be like high tree nesters at that, but you're saying no, they're actually going to nest down low too.
Yeah, in fact, most of them probably nest on the ground, although they do nest in low willows and shrubs. But typically, if they're nesting off the ground, they're going to be less than a meter off the ground. So
okay,
even they're off the ground nest,
and they're going to be canopied by the bushes and stuff, by the brush.
Yeah, typically, yeah.
So that's how they kind of seek a little shelter and that.
Yeah.
Okay, so any mating rituals about these guys?
So they don't, like I said, they're pretty poorly studied, especially on their breeding range. But there's no mating rituals noted in the literature that I could find. The only thing that's kind of close, I guess, is once it's after they're already kind of paired up. But the female does most of the nest building, and it says that a couple times they've seen the male will follow the female around singing while the female is gathering material.
Wait a minute, are you talking about me? Are you talking about my house? As shit's getting built and things are being cleaned, I'm down right just following people around whistling.
Something like that, yeah. You're like a golden crown sparrow.
Yeah, in so many ways.
Golden mohawk sparrow.
The golden mohawks, but just like, don't you think I'm going to title it wrong when we put this episode up? Okay, so no real mating rituals that noted or that. Let's talk about one of my favorites. Let's talk about clutch size and how often they're having these clutches. So can you get into that for us?
Yeah, so they typically lay 3 to 5 eggs.
I would have guessed a lot more. I don't know why.
Yeah. So 3 to 5 eggs, about maybe 1.5 centimeters. So not too big. They're usually kind of blue green together.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
they're blue. The eggs are blue green.
Yeah. You know, like an Americana chicken egg.
Yeah, like a pastel-y blue green kind of thing is what I'm picturing.
Like an Easter egg, except smaller.
Yeah, delicious.
And then they're speckled a little bit too, kind of usually reddish brown speckling on them.
Uh-huh.
And
wait a minute. Slow down.
Okay.
Blue green with reddish brown speckles sounds really pretty. That's like a crazy, that seems like a really good color. What is the advantage to having eggs? Is it helping to camouflage it? Is it doing anything? Is it just identify them? Are they saying, hey, whoa, those aren't your eggs, those are my eggs?
You know, I'm not sure. I don't think it probably does a lot for camouflage, although that's just a guess, and I couldn't say for sure because who knows, you know, a lot of these animals they see in different kind of color spectrums than we see, so colors look a lot different to them, I think, a lot of the time.
Well, we don't know if colors look the same to you and me either, you know, I mean, really, honestly.
Well, exactly.
I mean, who knows?
I'm partially colorblind.
Right. So, I mean, we're not seeing the world the same. We don't. Let's be clear. We don't see the world the same. and so now, I mean, this is just adds another layer of that.
Yes, another layer. So, yeah, I'm not sure, and it's interesting because you brought up to identify their eggs, because there are, you know, we've talked about different nest parasites and birds that lay eggs and other species nests and things like that, but they typically don't range where the most common nest parasite is, which is the brown-headed cowbird. Uh-huh. So they wouldn't be really subject to parasitism by any other birds that I'm aware of. So I'm not sure why they have that color. Okay. Maybe just to be pretty.
Once a year, multiple times a year.
Yeah, mostly once a year, although there are instances of them having a couple clutches in a season.
Okay.
And they will re-nest if the first one fails early enough.
Okay. And how long are these guys? I always love hearing about how long they're hanging out with these guys when they hatch, how long before they leave.
So the eggs take maybe 11, 12 days to hatch. And then both the male and female help feed. So the male sticks around for these guys to help out. The young typically leave the nest around 10, 11 days. And they really can't fly at that point. They're just kind of hopping around, and the adults are still feeding them. And it takes maybe 2-3 days after that, and then they can make kind of short flights after that. And I don't know how long they stay with them after that. Like I said, they're pretty they're not very well studied, so there's not a lot of data out there on how long the young actually stay with the adults.
What are we missing? What else do we got about these guys?
So for the most part, they eat plant matter.
Diet, yeah.
Yeah, the adults, probably 99% of their diet is seeds, buds, fruits, flowers, leaves of plants. Although they do capture and feed insects to their young. And, you know, that helps just give them protein for growth and things like that.
How are they catching these insects?
You know,
like a lot of insects would be tough to find, tough to get, tough to, you know, I know these guys are fast, but
yeah, they're pretty fast, but
the reaction time of these birds really blows my mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
talk about seeing the world different. I mean, they're seeing the world in slow motion, right?
It seems like they have to be.
Yeah. Yeah. They're on a different time plane than us.
Like their brain just processes so much faster.
Yeah. Right.
That it slows everything down.
Where they're going, how they're the bullets flying over their head, Keanu Reeves, like hands going.
Yeah. So I mean, I think probably a lot of what they capture are spiders and caterpillars and things like that aren't necessarily, you know,
Okay, got it. Not too difficult.
The quickest in the.
Okay, so what about names? Other names for these guys, or is that just as boring as the rest of them?
No, they got a couple.
Okay.
Interestingly, you know, their breeding habitat was kind of it overlapped quite a bit with gold miners that you know used to be in those areas, and so they got a couple names for them.
Okay. Well,
One
I already like this. So you're saying gold mine. You're saying that the miner, which everyone has the same gold miner in their head. Like
yeah,
it's the same leather hat, it's the same white beard, it's the same overalls, and the same flannel. So this dipshit is looking at these birds, and I already love this. I love this that it's 170 years ago in my mind, and we're naming it. Okay, lay it
yeah.
on me.
So a lot of the names are for this particular bird are kind of a play on their song as well. So we got to kind of keep that in mind.
Well, do we want to play the song first and then go into the names? If one of these names isn't the Dag Nebbit, I'm going to be really Dag Nebbit.
It's not. It's not.
Damn it!
Yeah, I know. So
All right.
they kind of let's play the song first. That's a good idea.
I'd like to hear
they
that.
kind of have a mournful,
Ooh,
song,
mournful.
Yeah. So let's play you one here.
Very Hunger Games.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You know what?
Like,
that's funny. I never even put that one together before.
Yeah,
but it is.
That's great. Oh,
yeah.
That's great.
And a good thing for us is they sing down here in the winter, so you get to hear them down here as well. So that's
that might be one of my favorite calls so far.
Yeah,
nice. I like it. Okay, so based on that, these miners are naming these birds.
So the first one I think you're gonna like. It's the Weary Willy.
Oh, I mean, yeah, yes.
Pretty good.
Mean, yes, the Weary Willy. Again, not only is the call one of my favorites, that might be one of my favorite names for these things. The Weary Willy.
Okay, I think you're gonna like this next one too. It's the No Gold Here bird.
The No Gold Here.
No gold here.
No way. Is that's the you've heard that as a reference from the No Gold Here? Do 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 do.
Yep.
Now, do you think that like they thought that was bad luck when they heard that? Like they'd heard that call and they're like, oh no, there's no gold here.
I don't think so. I think they're just kind of ubiquitous in the same areas, and so they just heard them a lot in the.
All right, you know, that one's different. That's like when you hear a racehorse's name that's like not really a name. It's like a phrase or an idea.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And on the rail is Phantom Fart, and it's.
I wouldn't bet on that horse.
Oh, I would bet. Yeah, I would lay $100 on Phantom Fart.
Yeah,
easily. Yeah.
And then they're called the Golden Crown. Of course, that's a given. And then the Rainbird.
Oh, I like Rainbird too. So, is there anything about Rainbird? So Rainbird is a famous, as you know, irrigation company that sprinklers and stuff. Is that a Golden Crown Sparrow on the logo?
I don't even know, but I would guess no, but I have no idea.
I'm going to get the research staff on that one to see.
That's a good idea. Maybe they can have an answer to us soon. So that's the names for the bird, but then I've also heard different phonetics used to describe their song in addition to No Gold Here.
Okay.
So I'm so weary.
Okay.
I'm so tired. And then the one I learned it at is Oh Dear Me.
Oh Dear Me.
Which as a young college student, it actually really did help me to learn the song of this bird.
That's pretty. I mean, I like all those. I mean,
yeah.
So it might be not studied all that well, but but still some good stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is a good time to, call out our aspiring biologists out there and say, hey, this is a good subject that needs some study and some more to learn about. And you could go to some neat areas in the summer to study them on their breeding range and be pretty out of sight, unless I beat you guys to it.
Yeah. Well, maybe this will be taught in classes. Maybe the podcast maybe they'll play it for,
Oh yeah.
for some peeps. Yeah.
There's going to be a boom of golden crown sparrow study after this.
I really want the Rainbird logo to be a golden crown sparrow. Really.
That would be pretty amazing.
That would be pretty darn good.
Because I actually never heard that before today. So that was a new one for me.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Well, I mean, you chatted it up on this guy. You didn't cut it short.
Okay. Yeah, well, we had a kind of an extended intro, I think. We probably lost half our listeners in the first 5 minutes.
I think that's most of our listeners, Steve. I think we lose them in the first 5 minutes. So that's not a surprise to anyone. All right. Well, at this point, good job. Well done. Thanks. I want to remind people to, if they have any ideas for us, to email us at birdbrag@gmail.com, and please follow our Insta, birdbrag, which is good, fun. We'll have some fun with that.
Montucky, we're still waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, come on. Hey guys, we love you. I mean, if you listen, don't listen, whatever. Yeah, do you listen? Do I remember the code word?
Yeah.
I remember the code word. Do you want to give it again?
We could, but I don't think we need to.
If you would have just naturally worked it in, maybe some point for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try next time.
All right. Well, you hear that? What? You didn't expect it to be the old track, did you?
No, I didn't. What's up with that?
You know what? I decided to mix it up.
Okay, because I thought we had a whole vote that settled that.
You know what? I haven't heard from anybody saying anything. I haven't heard from anyone saying that not to do it. So I thought I'd give a little shout out to Mr. Martin.
I love it.
Yeah. You know what?
It's a good
Mix
track.
it up. Mix it up. It's a good track. I want to see if anyone notices. You know what? I want to see if anyone is heartbroken that they didn't hear it. Yeah. We're doing a little throwback.
I love it.
Yeah. I just figured, why not? All right. Well, today, again, birds and birdies, and we already mentioned that we were going to talk about these guys, but I thought it was time to do it. We're going to talk about Pasatiempo in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Nice.
And it's a golf course that when do you know what the word? So your Spanish is much better than my Spanish. Do you know what the word Pasatiempo means?
I would say maybe so tiempo's time.
Right.
Pasa is, I don't know, passing the time or pastime?
Passing the time. But there's the colloquial version and meaning of it is hobby, your hobby.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so the first thing you got to know about these guys, because they got rid of the logo, which was just the best. Their old logo was a gentleman in a sirapa in a big sombrero with his arms folded and his head down under a palm tree, passing the time.
Taking a
little nap. And yep, that logo is gonzo's. See ya.
Oh.
Must no longer be appropriate. Right? I mean, I guess. Well, you know what? I take it back. The page I was looking on wasn't, but it's there.
Okay.
Do you want to see the logo? I'm going to show you the logo.
Are you going to share your screen with me?
I'm going to share something with you. Look at this guy right here.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Isn't that great?
It is good.
And so I have several shirts and several hats with that because I just love the logo so much.
I love that lady's outfit and that's taking the tee shot right there.
I mean, this is the founder. That's Marianne Hollins. This is
nice.
the gal that created, whose vision it was to create Pasatiempo.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to talk about her. So yeah, so for people who could see that, that's Marion Hollins. And she is credited, so Alistair McKenzie is credited for designing this golf course. And he, again, Augusta National, his most favorite or most famous, but Cypress being a close second. Both of those courses are considered two of the best courses in the world for different reasons, and not classically hard, not classically designed, but just beautiful and amazing in the way that they've used the topography to create these courses. And I didn't realize that when I was reading about this, that Marion Hollins that Alistair McKenzie credited Marion Hollins for designing the 16th hole at Cypress, which is their most famous hole, which is little par 3 over water. And I thought that was pretty darn cool. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. And so her history was also, she's tied to Alistair McKenzie. She's tied to the Pebble Beach Company as well, because it was when she was working for Samuel Morris at the Pebble Beach Company that she was tasked with developing Cypress Point.
So and how long ago are we talking?
We're talking 1920s.
Okay.
So 1920s. And so, and this is like early 1920s is when 21 or 22, when she was asked to develop Cypress Point. The history of the Pebble Beach Company and Pebble Beach is so interesting because they owned all that land. And then through the Great Depression and through other things, they had to give it away, part of the land. They had to sell part of the land because they couldn't maintain it. So the Monterey Peninsula Country Club was given to the members. I mean, these two beautiful courses, or these land that these courses are on, were just given to them. So, but back to this, where it's while she was working with Dr. Alistair McKenzie that she had this idea to create. I mean, and really, golf courses are a great way to sell real estate, right? And they kind of go hand in hand. Yes, you love to develop golf courses, but you also want to sell the land and parceling it out. And forever, people have wanted to live on golf courses because they're beautiful. They're beautiful backdrops. And it says that on January 12th, 1928, which a year later, we know what happens a year later, is she begins to work on, or has the idea for Pasatiempo and starts working on it. And it's in the Santa Cruz Hills. It's right above. And so if you know the West Coast at all, and you know the way to Santa Cruz, if you're coming in from the San Jose area, not from North or Half Moon Bay or south from Monterey, if you're coming in from the peninsula, you go over this amazing freeway called Highway 17. This, if you've never driven it before, the first time you drive it, you're going to have a heart attack, because it's this windy, hilly road. It's the second or third exit right before you get to Santa Cruz is Pasatiempo Drive. And where you're there, and it's off to the right there. And again, I pick these courses because I'm picking a lot of these. It's because it's either they just have, I've experienced them in one way or the other. I've played Pasatiempo more times than I could count. And and as a kid, they had junior rates that were just outstanding. So in high school, me and my buddy would go down and drive over and play Pasatiempo and get in a bunch of trouble and just super fun there. I was playing with my dad one time, and there's a little golfer, I don't know if you ever heard of him, named Tiger Woods, who was playing who had just won his second, or maybe his first amateur. I think he just won his second. And he was a freshman at Stanford University, and the NCAA championships were at Pasatiempo. And so we literally were playing the course the same day that the NCAA championship was playing, and Tiger was playing in it. Because back then they didn't shut down the courses. I don't even know what year, what that have been. It'd be mid 90s, right? It'd be probably 95 or 96, something like that. And then last year, we were spreading my mom's ashes in Santa Cruz. And my little brother and I, and my older brother has a young family, and so he doesn't get to go out and golf with us all the time. So we went out a couple of times. We had our family golf tournament, and David and I went out and played a few times. And we were on one of the golf websites looking for tee times, and I just looked. The tee time, the average price you pay to play Pasatiempo is $295. That's no cart. That's no nothing. That's just the green fees. They don't even throw a beer in your cart. No Montucky for free there.
Hmm.
And it's worth it. But we were on one of these golf sites, and what happens is if they have open inventory or someone cancels or something late and they're trying to sell it, we found, I think it's going to be pretty accurate, $88 green fees. And so we snapped them up. There was two of us, nice. And we played it, and we went and played it, and I just had a great time. And my little brother's such a good golfer, and I'm just so bad these days, even though I'm getting a little better. But had such a fun time, and it's just so many memories. And as I mentioned on a previous podcast, you end on a par 3 there, which is just not very typical for a really high-end golf course in that way. That it's taboo for designers to end on a par 3 for whatever reason. You want to end on kind of a challenging, picturesque par 4 for the most part, sometimes a par 5. And so we're getting to like the 17th or 18th hole, and we got partnered with these two jackasses, these jackwagons. And they're nice enough guys, and they're both surgeons for a medical center in the Bay Area, and they're taking their time, and they're nice enough. But the guy it's not like I asked him. I forget. I asked him maybe if he was on vacation. He goes, "No, we just drive down here and play." And he goes, "Oh, well, we got just a fucking great deal on our green fees. I mean, just we couldn't pass it up." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Like I wasn't like I'm fishing. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. You know, yeah, we did too." He goes, "Yeah, we got it for $175 each." and I look at my brother, and we just kind of look at each other, and the guy looks. He goes, "Why? What did you pay?" And I'm like, $88. And he went bananas. He went absolutely bananas, and it just ruined his whole day. he was having a great day. It's like, why just because I got a good deal, don't worry about it, brother.
Yeah.
And of course, when you get a good deal like that, you want to buy a shirt, you want to buy this, and you want to buy that, you know, and it's all that fun stuff. So I could go, you know, there's so much detail, but really what you need to know about this is that some of the Bay Area's best golfers, Ken Venturi, Julie Inkster, like the list goes on and on and on, grew up playing this course. And by today's standards, like it's not even, it used to just feel like it was so long. And with the Santa Cruz, it gets really damp and heavy. The air gets heavy. The ball doesn't fly as much. The ground's really wet, so the ball doesn't roll as much. Just would feel really long. But by today's standards, it's like moderately long for that. And they're trying to extend tees and do things in the back, but it's a really great thing. And my dad and I played it at least twice, if not a third time, because my family would go to Santa Cruz or just south of Santa Cruz to vacation all the time. And my dad would treat us to play that on my birthday. And I distinctly remember, because there's a Denny's, the exit before. Do you remember when you used to get, and maybe you still do, free breakfast on your birthday?
Oh yeah, and then you could get a free meal at El Torito too all the time.
I didn't know the El Torito thing. That's I love it. I have El Torito story. My brother and I have so many good El Torito
I don't even remember
stories.
the last time I was at El Torito.
The El Torito, I did not treat the El Torito in Monterey very nice. Let me put it that way. My brother and I would sit there. This is when, how did we get home? I don't know, because there was no Uber back then. And the pitchers and margaritas and just unbelievable. So yeah, so I remember distinctly sitting in a Denny's waiting for my dad to get to the golf course, you know, or waiting for the time, because I got there early to get my free breakfast and do that. So
nice.
All right, so that's Pasatiempo. Have you ever laid eyes on that guy?
I haven't been to the course, although I've been on Highway 17 a few times, and it was cracking me up because I have some friends that grew up in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Yeah.
And there was some curve that when they were kids, they used to go there and watch people have accidents.
Oh, like God.
You just knew it was going to happen. And you could go there and watch them.
Now they have a concrete median. When I was a kid, there was no median when you cross that thing. And this is in high school. And yeah, it was nuts doing that. But the Scotts Valley area, and that area is just so neat.
Yeah.
But oh man, another friend of ours that, Paul, his daughter was baptized at a church in Santa Cruz, and then he had like a little reception after her baptism. So that's like another memory, a really fun memory of hanging out with his family and seeing he was the first of my friends to have a kid, and it was like, holy shit, kid.
It's getting real.
Yeah, maniac. All right, what did we learn today, Steve? 12 of these guys to make one Montucky, one reasonably sized cold snack.
So it's the age-old question of, would you rather have 12 golden crown sparrows in a bush or one Montucky in the hand?
Yeah, I have like 8 answers for that. Let's yeah, I'm a child. We learned that they're monomorphic. Another new word, way to throw the vocab word out there.
Yeah.
I
hope you're filing these away for the end of season episode. We don't know what it's going to be yet.
Right in the cabasa. They're related to the white crowned sparrow, but not really. This would have been a good name for Bird Brag if we hadn't named it Bird Brag. Destination birding.
That's a thing. It's a thing.
It's a thing. Who knew? Destination birding. I did know. I could see that.
Yeah.
They like, they're West Coasters. They like the West Coast. They don't like to go. They stay towards the coast. Oh, I love this. You said it many times when you re-listen. Shrubby bush. I laughed and I had to keep it in because I wanted to save it for this moment. But man, you used the word shrubby several times, and shrubby bush.
Huh. It's interesting.
It's great. It's great.
I don't know if I've ever used that before in my life.
You surprise yourself. Do you not know what you're saying sometimes?
I don't know. Sometimes
do you know sometimes it's on autopilot and it just goes?
Like diarrhea.
Man, it's great. No mating ritual. And this is the point when I wrote in my notes, they boring. They're boring. You're boring. You're boring. And then right after that, I say that, and then they're like, we talked about their eggs, the pastel colored eggs with reddish brownish spots, which I thought was pretty cool. They like to eat plants and seeds. They have a mournful song. I like that. I didn't believe you until you played it, and it was mournful for sure. And then they have some of the best names. They have some of the best alt names that we've had so far. I'm going to go backwards. Okay. The Oh Dear Me, is that what one was?
Well, that's the name of their song.
Yeah. Oh, the song. That's not what they call. They call it a song. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm So Weary.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. The Rainbird. Talked about rainbirds.
We'll get the research department on that.
Yep. No Gold Here, part of their song, but the Weary Willy.
Yeah. That's solid.
Yeah. I mean, that's like Eldrick Woods. Eldrick Woods wasn't a good name, so you go by Tiger.
Yeah.
So these guys, I'm thinking they should mix it up. They should just go with it.
Maybe I'll start calling them that from now on.
The Weary Willy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 10 Weary Willies over there in the shrub.
Right. We learned that you never know when I'm going to mix it up on the song to get to and stuff. You just never know what's going to happen.
Surprising. And shocking. Shocking.
You know what? I almost warned you, and I'm like, why would I warn him?
No.
Why would I warn him?
That ruins it. I would just ruin it.
Why would I warn him?
But as soon as I heard it, I was like, what?
Yeah, your eyes got real big. We learned that I'm shocked that the Pasatiempo logo is still the Pasatiempo logo. They're getting away with it. They just don't give a fuck.
I think it's okay.
They don't give a fuck. And then talked about some why I like Pasatiempo, why people should go check it out.
Yeah.
We learned my Montucky shirt showed up on time for the Montucky episode.
Nice.
I'm glad I got the XL too. I'm a large guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a large guy. This guy is going to be perfect for XL.
Okay.
Yeah, soft. And you know what? It's one of those soft, like super soft t-shirts.
Do you know what brand it is? It's not what I was thinking. I can't read it though, but.
Oh, wait. Can you see?
All I see is a big O.
Yeah, big O.
Oprah. It's an Oprah shirt.
It's a Optima. It's an Optima t-shirt.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's soft. It's a great summer t-shirt. It's going to, this one could become a Friday t-shirt. This might be my new Friday t-shirt. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. My Friday, I have a good, I like my Monday t-shirt quite a bit. I like my Wednesday t-shirt quite a bit. But to make it immediately to Friday, to make it right to Friday. So Thursday is the most important t-shirt. That's the most important t-shirt. And then the Friday is the next most important t-shirt.
I don't understand.
Then Monday is the third of the most important t-shirts.
I don't understand why Thursday is the most important.
Yeah. Thursday sets you up for the weekend. Thursday is the most important. You got to feel good on a Thursday. You got to feel good on a Thursday.
I already feel good on Thursdays.
Always?
Well, yeah. Because and here's the key for me is today, this Thursday is my Friday because I got tomorrow off.
Now let's be clear. Even if you have Friday off, Thursday's Thursday. Wednesday doesn't become Thursday if Thursday is your Friday.
But it's
Wednesday's
like a bonus
Wednesdays.
Thursday. It's like a bonus Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Totally agree.
I call it 18 Thursday.
But your Thursday t-shirt, if you're not feeling good in your t-shirt on Thursday, it just sets you up wrong. It just gets you in a bad place.
This is all new to me. I fold my laundry, I put it in my drawer, and I take the top one out every day and wear it.
No.
You're doing it wrong. I take the top one out.
You're doing it
the
wrong.
next day, maybe the day or two after.
You've been doing it wrong for 47 years. You're doing it all wrong. So let's start simple.
Okay.
Let's pick a Thursday t-shirt. You have a whole week. You'll know it. When you see it, you'll know it. It's clutch. It's important.
Okay.
All right. I've just changed your life. So next time we talk, I would love to hear. You know what I'd love to see is your Thursday t-shirt.
Okay.
And Thursday, you got to take care of your Thursday t-shirt. Your Thursday t-shirt is clutch.
So and then is this so for you, because you dress a little differently than I do. So is that something that you put on when you get home from work?
It is. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes I have to wear a suit and tie to work, right? Sometimes I have to be in a jacket or this. I'm not going to necessarily get home and change into my Thursday t-shirt. Thursday t-shirts don't always get worn on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you only wear your Thursday t-shirt on Thursday.
Okay.
But if you're going to wear it, and sometimes you're going to be like gardening or getting grubby or hauling shit. You're not going to wear your Thursday t-shirt doing that, even though it's Thursday. That's just not what's going to happen. And then if you're hauling shit all day, if it's like you're from 8 a.m. to 3 o'clock, or you're doing what you're doing, you're not going to put on your Thursday t-shirt at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not what's going to happen.
Even if I get cleaned up?
No. Okay. You might say, I'm going to be up late. I still have a lot of Thursday left. I need my Thursday t-shirt on.
You're raising more questions than you're answering.
No. You know what? Wait until all the fan mail comes in and we see how many people have their Thursday t-shirt. You know what? If people want to post their Thursday t-shirt on Insta and tag Bird Brag, I'd love it.
Yes.
Love it.
I would.
So
I need help.
Bird Brag Korean t-shirt, our Korean Thursday t-shirt. If that was as soft as this, that might have been my Thursday t-shirt.
Wow.
It's in the rotation. It's definitely in there. I mean, it's a great t-shirt.
So what was your, before this, what was your old Thursday t-shirt?
I'll bring it. I'll show you. I'll bring it. Yeah. No, it's important.
Okay.
It's important.
I don't know anything about any of this world.
Now, yeah. You know what you do, and you just don't know it yet. You do.
That could be.
I think you do. I think that when you look at your t-shirt drawer with a fresh eye, you're gonna say, "This has been my Thursday t-shirt all along."
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll see what speaks to me.
All right. I love it. I can't wait to see. So now we added, what did we learn today? We learned about Thursday, Friday, Monday, like the order. There's like a whole, I write a whole I could write a whole Men's Health article on.
Slow down. Slow down.
All right, man. I think we did it.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, another fun one. So, all right, enjoy that Montucky. I'm going to have about 8 more tonight because it's Thursday. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Feeling really good.
Me too. 18 Thursday for me.
What? Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Any big plans?
No, none.
Cool. Best.
None plans.
The best. That's when shit gets real.
Yeah.
That's when things happen.
All right, man.
All right. You hear that? That's our music, man. We're out of here. Good one. See you, dude.